Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Meshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Sam Saraswataya Namah. Om Sam Saraswataya Namah. Om Sam Saraswataya Namah. Om Shri Guru Gita Devataya Namah. Okay, let us start with today's explanation of Guru Gita. Welcome to the third of our series. Today we start Guru Gita proper. So we'll aim to try and do the first three verses, but we'll see how far we go. But before we start with the three verses, last week Friday, we spoke about the Dhyanam. We spoke about what the Dhyanam actually means. So who would like to recap for us? Anyone here wants to recap what we learned last week about the Dhyanam? What the Dhyanam means? In just one or two lines. It doesn't have to be very specific. One or two lines.
Jai Mohanji, Swamiji.
Suvarna.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, my Swami. Well, Dhyanam is the visualization of the deity, and it basically describes all the characteristics of the guru or the deity that you are worshipping.
Well done, Suvarna. Well done. I'm so happy, Suvarna, you were actually listening. Wow, Sue. Wow. Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Well done. Everybody deserves a round of applause.
I think the most the thing that made an impact for me the most, Swamiji, last week was when you said that Father is a living representation of the Vedas, and that just, you know, I know that he's more than his physical form, and maybe I'll never fully understand who he is, and I find myself being very attached to his physical form. But when you said that he's the living representation of the Vedas, that just made me feel some kind of way, I don't know, like an awe almost, you know?
100%.
And how blessed we are to be
100% in his presence.
Yes.
His presence. Well done, Suvarna. Well done. I'm very, very proud of you, Sue. Okay, so exactly what Suvarna said. Dhyanam is a visualization or meditation of the form of a particular deity, and we spoke about two dhyanams. We spoke about the dhyanam of Lord Shiva and what happens during the dhyanam, how our heart chakra opens, the heart chakra of the deity is linked with the heart chakra of the deity, energy moves to the third eye of the deity, then from high concentration to low concentration, the Shakti moved from the deity to our third eye, and it fills our entire body. This is also what happens when you walk into a very powerful energy space, like the ashram or in front of the deities. There's a feeling that you get that is very hard to describe. This feeling is like an expansion that happens in your body, a clearing that happens in your body. Some people shake, some people cry, some people just feel so happy, they just laugh. Some people just can't stop talking. We won't mention names. But these are all signs of the expansion that happens when you are in a high energy space. The same expansion happens when you start reciting Dhyanam. Dhyanam of Guru Gita is very, very special. And there were many important things that were hidden and explained in the Dhyanam of the Guru, in the Guru Gita. The Dhyanam of the Guru Gita started with the Guru's eyes and ended with the Guru's feet. And to me, that really touched my heart when I realized it the first time. We've read it so many times, but I didn't actually become aware that the Dhyanam of the Guru Gita starts with Guru's eyes, so starts with Mohanji's eyes and ends with Mohanji's feet. And that means a lot, right? It means that those words in between those words of the Guru Gita, from the first verse, introduction verse, right till the end, all of that represents who Mohanji is. So already it starts putting the idea in our mind that Mohanji is more than just the physical body that we see. Although that physical body is very handsome and with the long hair and the big beard, and his presence is so beautiful, but there's more to him, much more to him. And we begin to understand just from the Dhyanam that the whole mantra of Guru Gita is Mohanji. The whole mantra of Guru Gita is Mohanji. Just like how every deity has a subtler form, which is a yantra, which has a subtler form, which is a mantra, which has a subtler form, which is bija, which has a subtler form, which is Om, which again has a subtler form, which is Parabrahma. Mohanji, one of his subtler forms, is Guru Gita. That's why there is this verse in Guru Gita that says that even one letter of Guru Gita, no other mantra has 1/16 the power of that one letter of Guru Gita, because it represents our Guru. This Guru Gita represents the combined knowledge of all of the Vedas. This Guru Gita represents the knowledge, the experience of the creation of the universe. That is who Mohanji is. In this Dhyanam, normally like the Dhyanam for Lord Shiva that we went through, they described his 5 heads and described what weapons he had, etc. But for this Dhyanam, for Guru Gita, where they describe the Guru, there's no physical description of the Guru. Instead, a description of the origin of the universe is given. A description saying that the Guru is a source of the origin of the universe. So to recap those few points on the origin of the universe, everything started from Parabrahma, from the formless deity, the formless God that is beyond all duality. That God wanted to experience life and started mutating himself into a form where he can experience. So that Parabrahma formed himself into a more physical, a grosser form, which is Om, the sound Om. Even in the Bible, it says first there was the word, right? They're referring to Om. That Om became Lord Datta. So Lord Datta as in the Parabrahma Datta. So this Lord Datta represents in our physical consciousness, in our physical world, the highest form of Parabrahma. So although this Lord Datta has form, he has 3 heads and 6 arms, and there are different descriptions of him, in truth, he has no form. He represents that Parabrahma. From this Lord Datta, we find that the 3 gunas appeared along with the Shaktis of the 3 gunas, right? The 3 gunas along with the Shaktis of the 3 gunas appeared. And this created the 33 crore gods. So each of these various 3 gunas mutated, combined themselves in certain ways that they created 330 million different deities, each to serve a particular constitution. Now that also means that these 3 deities with their Shaktis combined in various ways to even form all the humans, all the plants, all of the animals, all of the planets, and of course, we spoke about all of the aliens. The aliens as well. So we are all manifestations of the divine Lord. All of us are manifestations of the divine Lord. Our Guru, our Mohanji, the form of our Guru also is a manifestation, a pure manifestation of this Parabrahma. So when we see our Guru, when we see Mohanji, it is not the physical body that we are seeing, but it is what is inside that body. It is what that body represents. That body represents Parabrahma. Right? That body represents the absolute infinite. So this is what we spoke about during Guru Dhyanam. Right, so let us move on now. Are there any questions about this before we go on?
Hi, Swamiji. It's Pooja. Hi.
How are you? How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Swamiji,
Good,
just a
good,
quick
yes.
question.
Yeah.
This is regarding, I think, just not on Dhyanam, but I think you had mentioned something about explanation of Bindu. So you talked about going from
Yeah.
mantras to Bindu.
Yeah,
Could you
yeah.
please explain? Because I didn't quite understand that last time.
Okay, okay. So if you look at the evolution of God, if you want to call it that, from being the most subtle of the subtle to a form that we see in front of us, there are particular steps in how this happened, right? Simply, we can describe it as the motion of Parabrahma. That is the deity, God, Bhagwan, Paramatma, Jehovah, whoever you want to call it, Parabrahma, that formless God. This God has no duality. So there's no a God full of love. This God doesn't know what love is. This God doesn't know what hate is. This God doesn't know what happiness is. This God doesn't know what sadness is. This God is beyond all of that. The only thing there is bliss. Ananda, right? The only thing there is bliss. There's no light, that even light is not there, because light is a aspect of duality. So nothing is there, Puja, absolutely nothing. But this God wanted to experience, right? The Vedas say God got bored. God got bored and he wanted to experience something. So in this complete expansion that he's in, he starts contracting himself. He starts making himself from absolute subtlety to a more tangible form. And he contracts himself until he contracts himself to a particular spot. That is called Bindu. So in yantras, any yantra, the center of the yantra is a round dot. That represents Bindu. that whole yantra is contracted. The whole yantra goes to that round dot that's in the center. That represents the bindu. That represents Bhagwan Paramatma in a very concentrated form, right? Imagine when we do Mohanji's meditation, we are in that expanded form. In the end, he says, contract yourself, bring yourself back to your body. That was what Bhagwan did. From that very expanded form, he was contracting himself into a dot, into a specific space. Space was created. There was no space before that. So he was creating space at this time. That then got more and more and more and more gross. And that bindu then start vibrating. When that bindu started vibrating, because now there's space, when bindu started vibrating, that vibration became Om. And from Om, through the various 3 modes of nature, different deities were created. Understand, Pooja? That's a very quick explanation.
Yes, I did. So we have bindus when we are, I mean, all of us have bindus. So that is basically representing the Parabrahma within us, correct? Did I understand that right?
So those bindus that are in the body is slightly different. That bindu in the body represents a conjunction of particular energy. So in that way, it's the same. But that conjunction of that energy is not Parabrahma. The Parabrahma in us is the Atman, the Atma.
Okay, so that's why I was getting confused. That is why I was getting confused between bindus. Okay, I understood. Thank you.
Right, 100%. The bindus in us are slightly different. The bindus in us are conjunction of particular energy centers. So like there are bindus between the third eye and the Sahasradhara that you have to go through in order for the Kundalini to move from third eye to Sahasradhara. There are bindus in other points in your body, which are basically various nadis and chakras, the energies, the subtle energies, combining in that point and becoming very tangible. That's why, like with the one bindu, the third eye bindu, it's also called a bindu because when you concentrate on the third eye, you feel something happening. You know, you just have to look internally, close your eyes, move your eyes physically to the spot that's between your eyebrows, just above there. And at some point in time, you start feeling something in your third eye because all of the energies are combining in there and it becomes very tangible. So bindu is the tangible form of a very subtle energy.
Okay.
Great.
I don't want to
no, it's fine, Gita.
But in the Shri Chakra we have a bindu.
Yes.
So is Shri Chakra like the yantra for
Mother Lalita Tripura Sundari.
Okay, so that's like the subtlest form of any manifestation.
Correct. All chakras have a bindu. All chakras have a bindu.
Okay, so going back to what Pooja was asking, so I've heard that there's the cosmos, and that is like there's a microcosmos, the same structure of the universe is
within us,
duplicated within our body. So, but there it seems to be a difference also. Like you said, the energies are different, even though structurally it's the same. Yeah.
So the bindu that we speak about, the Parabrahma that we speak about, is actually the Atma. So it is the same. The Atma is the bindu. So if you're looking structurally inside the body, the Atma or the Pashu Atma, the Atma that is contained in the body, right? Atma is given 2 characteristics, Divya Atma and Pashu Atma. Pashu Atma is the Atma that is contained inside of the body. That is the bindu, right? That is this divine being concentrated into a particular point. That point is in the center of the center of our body, right? In our heart region, our chest region, where the Atma resides. The more subtler form of this Atma is called Deva Atma or Divya Atma. That is the Atma that is free from all of the body. When you are free from the body, expanded beyond the body, that's what it means. You are expanded beyond the body. then that is the Parabrahma. So it's the same thing, the same structure. It's just the word might be a little bit confusing, because the bindu in the cosmological description is the Pashu Atma in the human body. Understand, Gita? The bindu that they're speaking there is not necessarily the bindu that we are talking about that resides in the various parts of the physical body. That bindu is just a conjunction of energy spaces.
Right. Thank you. I understand it kind of like the fractal images that we see, you go one into the other and it duplicates.
Correct.
But so that's different from the bindu that's above the third eye.
Yes, it's different. It's different.
Yeah,
It's a bindu. This simply means a conglomeration of energy. So in the above the third eye, there are conglomerations of energy that happens because the nadis start moving frantically. A lot of energy moves there. That's why as a sadhaka, we can't move our kundalini from third eye to sahasradhara. It's a lot of hard work. I mean, it's madness really. That's why Guru is so important, because with the grace of the Guru, we simply move, easily move. He takes us from third eye to sahasradhara, because bindu is contracting into a place that is beyond space. And when we try and move kundalini from third eye to sahasradhara, it's jumping into nothingness. And I heard one saint describe it as, you either have to be completely mad to jump into this nothingness, or have complete faith in your Guru to be able to jump into this nothingness. So that bindu, those bindus, is similar in the description of what it is, but it's not the Parabrahma bindu that we speak about. That Parabrahma bindu is sitting in our soul.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's move on. Verse 1. Verse 1. So this verse is the first verse of Guru Gita. Right? Sutta uvacha. Kelasa sikhare ramye bhakti sandhana nayakam pranam ya parvati bhaktya sankaram parya rachatha. So basically what this means is, Sutta says, once while Lord Shiva, who knows the secret of devotion, was seated on the beautiful Mount Kailash, Parvati bowed to him with reverence and asked. Now, this seems like a very straightforward verse, right? Sutta says that Lord Shiva was busy sitting, enjoying himself, enjoying the view, the Kailash view, not Mother Parvati view, Kailash view, and Mother Parvati, beautiful Mother Parvati, seated next to him. They were seated on this beautiful mountain, Kailasha. And Mother Parvati touches his feet and bows to him with so much of love and says something. Right? This is the first verse. But there's so much of hidden meaning in this first verse. It's one of the most important verses in Guru Gita. And we'll go through each of these and speak about why it's important. So verse 1, Sutta says, now there are two important aspects at this, just two words, Sutta Uvacha, two words that it brings to our consciousness. The first aspect that he talks about is really the importance of Sangha. Sangha is having the companionship of great saints, of great rishis, great munis, people that have high energy. Now, your spiritual life has three legs to stand on, right? Seva, Sangha, and Sadhana. These three are absolutely vital in your spiritual life. You can't have a spiritual life without these three. Sangha is so important because it allows the transfer of a lot of energy and spiritual ideas to you. That saying, you know, if you want to be a good businessman, surround yourself by other businessmen. You know, what you want to achieve, surround yourself by that. So Sutta says, basically what this is saying is that there is this great saint, Saint Sutta. This Saint Sutta is speaking, and you are actually listening to this great Saint Sutta. So you are having the darshan, the company, the sangha of this great Saint Sutta. So just by reading Guru Gita, already you are ticking one box in your trifecta that you need for a good, stable spiritual life. Because you are now in the company of Sage Sutta. How beautiful is that? You know, we did not have the good punya to be born with the consciousness that we have now with these saints. You know, for us to be able to travel and sit by their feet, touch their feet and listen to what they say. But they transfer the same knowledge and teaching through the conversations that they had. So this Saint Sutta, also known as Ugra Sravas Sauti Sutta Goswami, he was a great, great saint. He narrated Mahabharata, Shiva Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Harivamsa Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Padma Purana. So many, many Puranas, this great, great, great saint, Sutta Goswami, actually spoke about. This is who we are in company with by reading Guru Gita. Such a great saint. A short story, you know, about Sutta Goswami. During the Kurukshetra war, you know, Lord Balarama, so Lord Balarama is the brother of Lord Krishna, the manifestation of Ananta Shesha. So the Shesha of Lord Vishnu, the Shesha that has those 1,000 hoods, Ananta Shesha, he manifested himself as Lord Balarama. So Lord Balarama was doing pilgrimage. So he was going to various spots of great energy and doing pujas. And as he was doing this, he went to a particular forest and he saw Sri Sutta narrating the Puranas to all of the sages that were present there. Now, Sri Sutta was a great man, right? So powerful, because remember, he's narrating these Puranic stories. It means he has knowledge that these great saints did not have. These great saints are sitting at his feet with their hands together saying, please tell us what's going on. You know, give us this knowledge. When Lord Balarama walked into this teaching, this Gurukul, everyone welcomed Lord Balarama because they know Lord Balarama is the brother of Lord Krishna and is the manifestation, the incarnation of Sri Sheshanaga. So everyone put their palms together and bowed down to Lord Balaram, except Sri Sutta Goswami. Because Sri Sutta Goswami's ego got the better of him. This angered Lord Balarama, and he killed Sri Sutta Goswami. And how did he kill Sri Sutta Goswami? It was a piece of kusha grass. So a piece of grass. He just threw that grass on Sri Sutta Goswami, and Sri Sutta Goswami exploded in dust. You know, the Agni grew so much in him, it burnt him alive. So there are many things here. You know, one of it is how mantras have certain power and you can evoke that power into anything. And that can be used for certain things. But the point that I want to bring here is the fact that it was Sri Sutta Goswami's ego that made him behave this way towards Lord Balarama. And Lord Balarama killed him. There is another side to this story where they speak about Sri Sutta Goswami's father, was conducting a yagya with thousands and thousands of priests and swamis and saints, and he disrespected Lord Balaram, and Lord Balaram killed him and put Sri Sutta Goswami in his place. But the story again comes down to the fact that there is ego. It is the ego that caused the problem. So I just want to share with you this beautiful video, short video about the second story.
Hare Krishna, killing of Romaharshan. Towards the end of Dwapara, thousands of sages assembled on the banks of Naimisharanya to perform a 1,000-year yajna in an effort to reverse the onset of Kali Yuga. They appointed Romaharshan as their leader, one of the main disciples of Vyasadeva, who was also present when Sukadev Goswami narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to King Parikshit. When Lord Balaram entered the assembly, understanding him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all present rose to offer him respect. However, Romaharshan, proud at occupying the position of the leader, did not get up. Lord Balram could understand that even though Romaharshan was an expert Vedantist, he had not yet realized these teachings. Considering him unqualified to lead the ceremony, Balram touched him with a blade of grass, causing him to die. He then instituted Suta, the son of Romaharshan, as the leader of the assembly and continued with his pilgrimage. Hare Krishna.
So there's an implication here, just by the sutta says, that even the most advanced spiritual sadhak, one of the biggest dangers is ego. When your ego becomes uncontrolled, your downfall begins. We speak about various shaktis that are given to you as you progress. There are various gifts that are given by reading Shri Guru Gita, which we all will get by continuously reading Shri Guru Gita. That gifts are yours forever. Nobody can take it away except your ego. So humility is the key. Humility is the key. It is only when those Brahmins bowed down to Lord Balaram and said, please forgive Sri Sutta Goswami, according to the first story, please forgive Sri Sutta Goswami. Then Lord Balarama reinstated him back, brought him back, created his body again for him, and blessed him to be the narrator of all the Puranas and Vedic descriptions that we have. So humility is key. But sutta also refers to a particular caste. A sutta caste, a sutta, refers to the Kshatriya and the Brahmin together. So your mom is Kshatriya and your dad is Brahmin, or your mom is Brahmin and your dad is Kshatriya. So a combination of Kshatriya and Brahmin creates sutta caste. Now this really is an important point. It's an important point to us. Monji always says this, and he wrote a blog about this. Dharmo rakshati ha. Protect dharma and it will protect you. Protect your dharma. So Kshatriya and Brahman together are the qualities of the person that is speaking about our Puranas. A Kshatriya is a protector. A Brahman is an intellectual. So this is saying to us, Sutta says, this is saying to us, don't sit back when people are disrespecting your dharma. Don't sit back and say, I am non-violent, I am ahimsa, I'm following ahimsa, so you just do whatever you want to do. That is not what ahimsa means. Every single Purana that says Sutta o Vacha is reminding you that you need to protect your dharma, and only then will your dharma protect you. You know, many people come and say, oh, Swami, what does God do for me? I'm going through such a hard time. What is God doing? And what I think in my mind, I may not say it immediately, or I may not say it as crassly as this, but what I'm thinking in my mind is, you want God to protect you. When did you protect God? When did you stand up for someone disrespecting your dharma? When did you say my dharma is more important than anything? Instead, what do? We do a nice homa to the Lord. As soon as the sun sets, people want to eat meat. That's a thing that happens here in South Africa. I'm not sure if it happens in the rest of the world. But South Africans have these things. As soon as the sun sets, the day is apparently over, they can eat meat. Or even better, the day that the family is fasting, doing some sort of tapasya, they're going outside the house to eat. Outside the house to do the wrong things. As long as you don't do the wrong things in the house, it's okay. Are you protecting your dharma? When they were making toilet seats with pictures of Hanuman, pictures of Ganesha, pictures of Shiva, what did we do? When people were saying Sanatan Dharmis are idol worshippers, what do? We say leave them. That's not correct. This also has an implication. For you to protect your dharma, it means you must know your dharma. Because what will you protect if you don't know? If you don't know something, what are you going to protect? It means it's our responsibility, all of us, every single Sanatan Dharmi. Our responsibility is to get to know our dharma and protect our dharma. And then only we can ask the question, what is God doing for me? Unless we're protecting dharma, we have no right to ask that question. What is God doing for me? What is Mohanji doing for me? I'm going through such a hard time. What is Mohanji doing for me? Unless you protect Mohanji, unless you're loyal to Mohanji, we have no right to ask that question. Unless you know Mohanji, we have no right to ask that question. So this sutta says, this is one line, means so much. So much. Are there any questions so far? You can chat, you can interrupt me anytime. Nothing. Okay. Let's go on. So,
Swami,
yes, Keegan.
Swami, what you said now is like amazing, because how I personally feel about that is that when we do actually at least feel we understand Mohanji, even in that extremely hard time, he's doing it's still Baba's ultimate grace over your life, no matter what.
100%. 100%. But it's more than that. It is showing us the way our minds work. We want Mohanji to be there. We want Mohanji to protect us. And he does. He does. Whether we are good devotees or we're not good devotees, Mohanji's love for us, Mohanji's grace for us is like that. He's always there. But we need to think. We have to think. We want Mohanji to be there in our hard times. Were we there for Mohanji when things were good with us? Were we there for Mohanji when people were saying something against Mohanji, insulting our dharma? It is taking responsibility for ourselves, our life, our actions. Although he's there, that's no question. Mohanji, the love of Mohanji I cannot describe. The love of Guru is something that has no second. No second to it. This love of Mohanji, this love of Guru is the ultimate love. But from our side, I'm asking the question, what are we doing? What are we doing to protect the Dharma so that Dharma protects us? So Rakshi, you raised your hand.
Swami, thank you. So I was faced with something like that, and I just remembered what you said. I'm not sure if it's relevant right now, but it was something along the lines of, it's our duty to speak up.
Yes.
But if the person chooses, and obviously you can just correct me, but if the person chooses to continue, we've served in our duty.
Correct.
Because it's like people challenge and talk nonsense and all of that. And then you get aggravated, and then you kind of move away from the purpose because of the anger.
Yes.
And that's when I just keep quiet.
Correct, Sonakshi. See, standing up for your dharma, and I remember, Keegan, we had this talk as well, right? Standing up for your dharma doesn't mean that you're trying to convince the other person that you're right and they're wrong. If that person understands, and it's brilliant, it's wonderful. If that person doesn't understand, it's okay. That is just a space they're in. But you did your dharma. You stood up. You explained. You cleared the air. So you did what you had to do. We have no idea who was listening to that conversation, and how you standing up with humility, with grace, but speaking from a space of power, protecting your dharma, how that may change somebody else's mind. Any other comments, questions, Keegan?
Swami, that day when that happened and I was trying to figure out whether I did enough and we spoke, not even 2 days after that, everything that that particular person said against Mohanji, again, like not to hold hostilities or anything like that, but everything they said against Mohanji, for themselves, they would have realized that what they said was nonsense, because in the space of no time, everything that they said basically flipped over and came to fruit in my life. Like, they spoke about all the things that they perceived wrong, all the things that they perceived were terrible, and they blamed Mohanji, and they were saying, all these things. And I 100% stood by Mohanji. I said, never. They told me everything is going wrong in my life because of Mohanji. Everything is going wrong because of going to ashram. I said, no matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone can tell me, I will never leave my ashram. This is who I am. This is my guru, and that is all that I am there for. Without Mohanji, there's nothing for me. So that be it. And as I said, the tradition protects itself, and it will always protect itself. But I won't say more about that. But the proof is always in the pudding, Swami.
Yeah. So it's so important. It's so important to stand up for your dharma. Only then do you have a right later on to ask, where is the dharma? When is the dharma standing up for you? So it means take responsibility. Take responsibility for everything that's happening in your life. Take responsibility for it. Right. So there were other beautiful lines in this verse. Parvati bowed to him with reverence and asked, Mother Parvati is the mother of the entire universe. In Shakta tradition, from her comes everyone, including Lord Shiva, in Shakta tradition. So what is she lacking? Mother lacks nothing. She does not lack any knowledge. She does not lack any Shakti. She is the source of all knowledge. She is the source of all Shakti. And yet here, she's bowing down with so much of reverence. What does that teach? Humility. Again, humility. The key is humility. The key is not having this big ego where you just want to say, I, me, me. That ego, which is so subtle, but it comes out. I did this. I am this great. I managed to do this. All of that will amount to nothing. It will take you away from Mohanji's feet. That's why Mohanji says, there's a saying that Mohanji has, that goes, the more ego there is, the more of you. The less ego you have, the more of Mohanji there is. So he's saying, reduce your ego, increase your humility, and you become more and more and more Mohanji. So Mother Parvati bows to Lord Shiva's feet, right? The other verse that was there, once while Lord Shiva, who knows the secret of devotion. Why are they describing Lord Shiva as the knower of the secret of devotion? They could have described him in any other way. The Lord Shiva, who is the Lord of all lords. Lord Shiva, who is the Lord of Ganas. Lord Shiva, who is the destroyer of worlds. But they're talking about devotion. From our discussion that we had over the last 2 weeks, we spoke about Hamsa. And we spoke about Lord Shiva representing, or is a symbol of the method of your sadhana. The method of your sadhana. By now saying Lord Shiva knows the secret to the method of your sadhana is devotion, is love, unconditional love. Your sadhana will not work to the space where it is at 100%. Your sadhana will not evolve you to a space of complete oneness if there is no devotion. Devotion is so important for the method to work quickly. For the method to work quickly, devotion is a secret. Devotion is the key. Then they spoke about Kailasa, right? They say the Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati was seated on the beautiful Mount Kailasa. Kailasa is a place of the ultimate pilgrimage, right? Kailasa is the center of the entire universe. This is actually showing us the importance of Guru Gita. Guru Gita is the center. What is taught in Guru Gita is the center. Who the Guru Gita is expounding is the center of the entire universe. The Guru is the center of everything. Just like in Kailasa, not only does Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati live, they live at the peak, but every god, every Devi, every Gana lives on Kailasa. So to every god, every Devi, every Gana, Apsara, Gandharva, Yaksha, all of these divine beings, they all live in the body of your Guru. So by worshipping Guru, you're worshipping every 330 million deities. All of them, every single one of them. You are worshipping simply by prostrating to your Guru's feet. Your Guru is the closest that we have to Parabrahma in a tangible form. Now, the other aspect of mountain was the aspect of stability, the aspect of confidence. And I was reminded of Lord Dattatreya. Lord Dattatreya had 24 gurus. One of the gurus was the earth, the mountains. And Lord Datta says that he learned stability, he learned confidence from the mountain. I, in fact, have this beautiful video that describes the story of Lord Datta and this one guru of his. It is 5 minutes, but I think it's worth watching it. Okay, so I'm going to put it on now. So if the audio is not too clear, please let me know.
This is a story of how King Yadu received knowledge about the nature of the self and became forever happy. King Yadu was on a journey, traveling to one of his towns for the opening ceremony of a festival. The day was beautiful and fresh, and nothing disturbed the slow pace of the royal caravan. The king wasn't a simple ruler. He held many spiritual gatherings and studied the science of existence with wise men from all over the country. At some point in the journey, from the height of the chariot, the king spotted a solitary thin man watching the procession. Barely clothed, standing in the middle of nowhere. He didn't look much different from any other sadhu. But what captured the king's attention was the profound peace and contentment that the stranger was emanating.
Stop the chariot.
Without his guards or any weapon, the king approached the hermit.
Greetings, O man of God. I am King Yadu, and I am the ruler of all these lands. May I ask your name, O holy man?
Welcome, my lord. People call me Dattatreya.
The voice of the sadhu only increased the king's curiosity about this stranger, as it carried the effortless stability of a mountain, combined with the lightness of a fresh breeze.
I was struck by how happy and peaceful you look, O wise Dattatreya. May I ask what the secret of your happiness is?
You are pure enough to recognize the one who gives me a voice. Therefore you deserve the answer, O King Yadu. I will tell you about my 24 gurus and what I have learned from them, thereby gaining the state of perfect freedom and happiness. Before I met any other guru, I met Satguru, a true master. He was my first guru. I met him only once, but he told me that my only task in life was to constantly remember God and see God everywhere. And that's how I was able to meet the 23 gurus that came after. My second guru was a mountain. I grew up on the plains with a flat horizon as far as the eyes could see. When I became a sadhu and set off on my journey, I saw a mountain for the very first time. It rose from the ground like a god, both magnificent and powerful. I sat there and watched it carefully. And what did I see? If anybody climbed up it, the mountain didn't feel better. It was just the same. Whoever descended from it, the mountain didn't suffer a sense of separation. It was perfectly established in itself. Sometimes the rains flooded it, pouring down all the water there was in the sky. Sometimes the sun scorched its surface with unbearable heat, day after day. But the mountain didn't mind either. It was unmoved. And this is what I learned from the mountain, that one should always be established in his own blessed state of existence. What did I do then? I stopped worrying about insults or praise. The mountain knows that no gain comes to it if it is being loved. Neither is any loss suffered when someone curses it. The mountain is the only one responsible for its happiness. And so am I. After I imbibed the teachings from my guru, the mountain, I noticed in myself the stability and patience of a mountain. I do not waver anymore or get disturbed by insults or praise. That is the gift of the mountain. And so I took a deep breath in, feeling full and expanded, and I moved on.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button and subscribe to
So this is an explanation also to what a mountain means and what it means when you read that line that Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati were sitting on Kailasha. So if we look at verse 1 and we just take those ideas that we spoke about now and put it together into one flowing thought, it simply means with great humility, not feeling that you are better or less than others, but with confidence in your Guru, read the Guru Gita. This will grant you great devotion, devotion that is similar to that which Mother Parvati shows to Lord Shiva. That is what that first verse, one of the meanings of the first verse is. It's telling you how to read Guru Gita. And it's telling you one of the main objectives of reading Guru Gita. You get to know your Guru. The way Mother Parvati knows Lord Shiva. There's no one closer to Lord Shiva's heart. There's no one that has the amount of, not control is the wrong word, but there's no one that can niggle Lord Shiva like how Mother Parvati can niggle Lord Shiva and get away with it. Other people come and irritate Lord Shiva, they burn to ashes. Kamdev came and irritated Lord Shiva a little bit, he was burned to ashes. But Mother Parvati wakes him up when he's meditating. Mother Parvati complains to him all the time. Mother Parvati does things that are that only a wife has the privilege to do for a husband. That's the relationship that they have. But Mother Parvati didn't start off with that relationship. It started off simply with bhakti. And that developed into a space where there's no one closer to Lord Shiva than Mother Parvati. By reading this Guru Gita, you can attain the same position with your Guru. No one will be closer than you to your Guru. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? In your heart, no one will be closer than Monji, than your Guru. In your Guru's heart, no one will be closer than you. That's the gift of reading Guru Gita. And that's what this first verse is saying. Right, let us move on. Are there any questions on the first verse? Nothing. Okay, great. Let's move to the second verse. Right? Oh, Shri Devi Uvacha. See something in the chat. Okay, great. Shri Devi Uvacha. Om Namo Deva Devasya Parat Para Jagat Guru Sadashiva Mahadeva Guru Diksham Pradahimi. So the goddess says, O Lord of Lords, O Supreme Preceptor of the universe, O benign and benevolent Mahadeva, God par excellence, unravel and explain to me the mystery of the Guru. So she is saying, Lord Shiva, please explain to me about this Guru. What is this whole thing about a Guru? Who is a Guru? What is a Guru? What is the relationship between Guru and disciple? But the way she says it really is so beautiful. And there's a little bit of a hidden meaning in this, right? She's saying, oh Lord of Lords, you, Lord Shiva, are the greatest of all gods. That's why it's called Mahadeva. Right? Whenever you put Maha in front of something, it means it's good, it's great. Like Mahaprasad, it means that's good food. Mahaprasad, right? It's not just prasad, it's not just food offered to God, it's Maha, it's great. It's very beneficial. You get lots of blessings eating Mahaprasad. Now this is Mahadeva. He's not just Deva, he's the Mahadeva. And Mother Parvati goes on to praise him, saying, you are the supreme preceptor of the entire universe. Why? Why is she saying this? Lord Shiva is known as the one that represents tamas, right? He represents destruction. But there's a bit of a misnomer there. It doesn't mean that Lord Shiva is tamastic. It simply means that his heart is so big, his love is so unconditional, that even people that have a tamasic disposition will find shelter under his feet. How great must you be? How great? How amazing, how supreme, how beautiful must you be? I'm just
sorry,
sharing
Swamiji.
again.
Sorry, Swamiji, you actually cut off there.
Okay, let me see. I'm still recording. Yes, correct. Right, you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but we couldn't see it for a while though.
Okay, where did you stop?
I think we said that Lord Shiva represents tamas. That's where we
Right.
stopped.
Okay, great. So Lord Shiva represents tamas. He represents tamas. He is not tamastic. Now, I see this misnomer in a lot of people. They don't want to pray to Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva represents tamas, as if Lord Shiva is tamastic. Lord Shiva represents the method of sadhana. How can he be tamastic? Lord Shiva represents the highest devotion. How can he be tamastic? What it means is that even if our nature is tamastic, we can get shelter under Lord Shiva's feet. We get shelter under Lord Shiva's feet. And that shows why he is supreme. Because imagine the control that he must have over everything. Right? If we don't like someone because they are abusive, what do? we run away from them, right? We don't want to be near them. We don't want them to be in our space. But here is someone, Lord Shiva, who is not that. But he says, if you want to be in my space, if you're a tamastic person and you want to be in my space, come. Transformation will happen for you. For us, if we are calm, we don't want someone that is not calm in our space. If we are vegetarian, seeing other people eat meat really gets to us. We feel sick. But here, Lord Shiva is beyond everything. He is the most untamastic person you can get. And yet he's saying, if you tamastic, it's okay, I will give you shelter. Lord Shiva is known as the destroyer or the transformer. What a tough job that is. Right? I mean, look at our own life. Right? Look at our own life. For us to be created, that wasn't difficult, right? For most people. For us to be created was very easy. Right? Especially in the days when there were no television and radio. For us to be created was very quick and very easy. Right? We were created, we were born. For us to maintain our bad habits that we have is even simpler. We just keep on going with whatever we're going with. Right? We're smoking, we keep on smoking. We're eating the wrong things, we keep on eating the wrong things. High fat, high sugar, high salt. But to transform ourselves, how difficult is that? To stop smoking after being a smoker for 30 years, that is difficult. To stop complaining after you complain for everything your entire life, that transformation is difficult. Transforming someone is incredibly difficult. That is why Mother Parvati is saying, you are the supreme preceptor of the entire universe. You are so kind. You are so benevolent. You give shelter to everyone. You are beyond excellence. But Lord Shiva, I see you having so much of respect for Guru. I see you holding the Guru even above yourself. Why is this? Why is this? That's why Guru is worshipped even before you worship your Istadevta. This is the importance of Guru. Guru is even higher than the Supreme Lord himself. In the Guru Gita, it says, if Lord Shiva is angry with you, your Guru will save you. There is hope for you. Don't worry. If your Guru is angry with you, not even Lord Shiva can save you. This shows the glory of Guru. That's verse 2. And verse 3, right? O Lord, my salutations to your lotus feet. Tell me by which path a human can become one with the Absolute, O benevolent, great God. This is where our tradition is born. Our tradition, our Datta Sampradaya, our Navnath tradition, is born from Adinath. The first Nath is born from Lord Shiva. Mother Parvati was a princess. Mother Parvati was a princess. And as a princess, she's very used to the comforts of a palace, right? I mean, we look at some of the princesses we have these days, our young girls, the young girls that come to ashram, for example. Makeup must be perfect. Right? Leave the young girls, some of the young boys are like this too. Makeup must be perfect, perfect, perfect. Clothes must be perfect, brand name clothes. You ask them to sit on the floor, they look blankly at you. You ask them to pick up a dirty spoon or to stir the pot or to, God forbid, wash the pots. These princesses don't know what to do. I'm sure you've experienced it, right? The mothers out there, the mothers that are listening, I'm sure you guys have experienced this. The princesses, I see Piali is laughing. Our princesses. Mother Parvati was also a princess. She was the daughter of the king of the Himalayas. There was no princess like her. No father spoiled her baby, his baby, as much as Mother Parvati was spoiled. Everything Mother Parvati wanted, she got. So she's telling Lord Shiva, see, I am a princess. I can't do all of these difficult austerities. You know, I see people hanging upside down and doing japa. I see people sitting in ice cold flowing water and chanting something. I can't do all of that. So teach me something that even someone like me can do. So Mother Parvati was looking out for us, because she realized by the time Kali Yuga came, nobody can do austerities like how it was done before. Not that Mother Parvati can't do austerities, that's how she won Lord Shiva. But she was looking out for us. She knows that we go outside for 2 seconds in the cold, we complain, we catch a cold. Let alone us going and immersing ourselves in ice cold water and chant. We leave the window open at night, we wake up with the flu. Do you think we can go and stay in the middle of the snow in Himalayas and do japa and concentrate? You know, if we're not wearing that Reebok shoes or things like that, we'll think it's, oh, we're very uncomfortable. Do we think that we can wear a single piece of material around us in the freezing cold weather, outside under the stars, and do tapasya? Mother knew a time will come when we physically, mentally, energetically will not have that capacity. But then what happens to us? She's asking Lord Shiva, what is a quick way in which a human being can become one with the absolute? What is a quick way that we move from an individual to the universe, where we can merge with Lord Shiva, merge with Lord Shiva, merge with Parabrahma? And what Lord Shiva described after that really is the basis of our tradition. What Lord Shiva described after that is what Guru Gita is. So we made good time today. Thank you for joining us. All of this is the grace of our Guru Mohanji. All that you've learned, all that we spoke about today is all because of him, all because of grace. All the mistakes are really due to my own ignorance. So please don't hold that against our Mohanji. Are there any questions?
Swamiji,
Yes, Sai.
just touching on what you just said now about like I was just, when I heard the Guru Gita, like what I took from it and what I'm still taking from it was like Mother Parvati, she didn't need to do this. She didn't need to ask Lord Shiva about the Guru Gita itself, because who she is, she's Divine Mother herself. She is Parameshwari, she is Shakti, and she already knew about the Guru Gita. She already knew about the Guru, etc. But that humbleness that you speak, that she knew that she needed to do this, because in time the Kali will come, like for her children, that she needed to do this, and also so humble from Lord Shiva himself to give out the secret about the Guru Gita. They could have just kept it between themselves
100%.
and never shared it with anyone.
100%. 100%. And that's how it went, right? From Lord Shiva saying, this is a secret, my love. Don't tell anyone. What does Mother Parvati do? First person she wants to tell is her son. She tells Lord Ganesha the secret of Guru Gita, the secret of our tradition. And then she tells Lord Ganesha, don't tell anyone, my child. This is from your father. Don't tell anyone. What does Lord Ganesha do? Tells who's most important to him. Can't keep the secret away from someone. Who is that person? His best friend. Lord Ganesha's best friend is Nandi Maharaj. So he says the entire Guru Gita to Nandi Maharaj, the entire secret of the Datta Sampradaya, not Sampradaya, to Nandi Maharaj. And then from there, of course, Lord Krishna comes. And Lord Krishna asks Lord Shiva, please let this knowledge of yours spread throughout Kali Yuga. And that's how the Sampradaya was born in Kali Yuga. Yes, Rashmika.
Namaste, Swami.
How are you, my angel?
I'm fine, and you?
Good.
Swami, when you talk about like protecting our dharma, I'm assuming that will that will go according to our own constitution. So that will be like our individual dharma first.
Correct.
Because I know Mohana says there's dharma individual, then family, then society.
Correct.
So when you say protect your dharma, it's our individual dharma.
It refers to all dharma. What you're speaking about is 5 rins. Rins are debts. There are 5 debts that we have as human beings, right? A debt to society, a debt to nature, a debt to our ancestors, a debt to people in society, a debt to the teachers that we have, and debt to Bhagwan. So we have to protect them. By doing or repaying those debts, we are protecting our dharma. So 100% you are correct, Resh. Those 5 things are very important. This is why ashrams are important, because you can do all of those five rins, pay back those 5 debts that we have in one place. It makes it very convenient. But also it is the dharma of us just sitting back while we lose the understanding of our great Sanatana Dharma. Our Sanatana Dharma withstood the Mughals, withstood the invasion of the Chinese, withstood the invasion of the British, withstood the invasion of the Afghans, all of that. Our great civilization withstood it. Until we reached this age, the age of the modern Hindu. And what's happening to our dharma? What's happening to our dharma? With all our knowledge and our WhatsApp and our Google, what are we doing to our dharma? We are turning our dharma into love and light. we are turning millions of years of sadhana into just love and light. We are forgetting the essence of our dharma. What love and light really means, what it truly means, we forget. It just becomes this term, oh, I bless you with love and light. We don't really mean it. We don't really understand what it means. We don't really understand what it means. Love and light means Nada Bindu. It means the Bindu and the Om. But that's a story for another discussion. But you're 100% correct, Resh. All of this is protecting your dharma. We have to stand up. We have to learn our dharma. We have to teach our dharma. We have to encourage the growth of our dharma. Otherwise, we are going to end up with nothing. We go to temples, it becomes a fashion show. It really becomes a fashion show. You know, we go, you ask someone, I want to, they tell you, I want to find a nice person to get married to. Where's the first person they tell you to go? I'm sorry, where's the first place they tell you to go? Go to the temple. You'll find a nice boy there. Go to the temple, you'll find a nice girl there. No. The people with the biggest problems are going to the temple. So if you want problems, find a boy that's going to the temple. If you want problems, find a girl that's going to the temple. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. But the point that I'm trying to make is that temples are no longer a space where we go to get recharged. It becomes a space where we just go to do some ritual. Break a coconut, turn a lamp, light an incense, and then we come home and we forget. The true value of temples, true value of ashrams, we forget. We forget. That's why, for instance, if we say, please help us build a temple, how many people help? Yet, Garuda Purana, Linga Purana, Padma Purana says, if you help put a deity into an ashram, all that punya that comes from worshipping the deity, 7 generations before you and 7 generations after you will share that punya. Imagine that for as long as the deity is lived, that punya comes. As long as the deity is worshipped, that punya comes to you. But who wants to build a temple? Very few people. That's why our dharma is fading away.
And you're so right, Swamiji, with regards to like the importance of an ashram, you know, like before joining this Mohanji path, and you know, I tried to fit in, you know, everywhere else, or not try to fit in, but I tried to find fit with other organizations, and it just didn't work. You know, I was not comfortable. I felt like I didn't fit in, and you know, once joining the, you know, our tradition and Mohanji, and like now, like even going to a you know, Mohanji retreat, or even coming down to you know, our Dutch Tapovan ashram in Durban, there's so much that I take back, you know, there's so much of learning that I actually take back as compared, and I shouldn't be comparing other, you know, to other temples, but it's just my personal opinion. Like I take back so much as compared to other you know, other spaces that I've been in. It's so much of learning and so much of knowledge and teachings, and even with you know, the prayers that we do at ashram, I mean, it's, you know, it's so much more learning. Being involved, you know, not just sitting back, being involved in this. So I really agree when you talk about, you know, having an ashram and the 5 deaths can be done you know, in one place. Can be paid back.
100%. 100%.
Thank you, Swami.
100%. Thank you, Resh. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we might have time for one more question if anybody has a question.
Okay, since you asked, Swamiji, I will ask. You know,
sure.
No, only because you gave that up, and I was not going to. But so just, you know, I'm so in awe of the Guru Gita and everything that you've explained so far. So now, what my challenge is how to behave with Mohanji. Like I'm like, how do I like, his stature was always so big in front of me, but now I think I'm like, if Mohanji comes in front of me, I'm going to be like, how do I behave?
The same way that Mother Parvati behaves with Lord Shiva.
Humility.
Humility and
Yeah.
unconditional love.
Conditional love. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Only those two things, Lord. Humility and devotion.
Yeah.
It will
But
melt his
humility,
heart even more.
humility is not only towards Mohanji. If you show it to
100%.
people around, it
100%.
reaches Mohanji, and
100%.
so is love, right? Like love, you
100%.
express it to any being, it reaches Mohanji nonetheless.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so it's just
100%. This is why one of the sadhanas, or one of the ways to see life, is, people ask, who is your Ishtadevta? And they expect me to say Mohanji. And I say, no, it's not Mohanji. People get confused. And they ask, what's you Mohanji's disciple? Why is Mohanji not your Ishtadevta? Then I say, my Ishtadevta are Mohanji's devotees. It's exactly what you're saying, Pooja. It's exactly what you're saying, Pooja.
Yeah.
You treat Mohanji's people, Mohanji's devotees, people that are going to Mohanji for help, the whole universe, all plants,
whole
all
universe. Yeah.
with love, devotion, kindness, that goes to Mohanji.
Yeah.
Remember Shirdi Baba's story when the dog was hungry and he asked for food? How quickly she went, she cooked the food, she came back, Baba, Shirdi Baba, here's the food. You were hungry, you asked for food. He took that roti and sabji and he gave it to the dog.
Yeah.
And the lady was so like, what are you doing, Baba?
Yeah.
I cooked this food for you with so much of effort, and then you're giving it to this dog. And what did Baba say? Look at this dog's eyes. See the gratitude in this dog. Look at what is inside this dog. If the dog's hunger is satisfied, because the dog can't ask, if the dog's hunger is satisfied, I am satisfied.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Swamiji.
100%. Thank you, Pooja. Okay, everyone, thank you very, very much. All my love to each of you. Thank you for joining us today for today's talk. And for those that joined us for Lakshmi Puja, thank you very much. A very happy Lakshmi Puja day to everyone. My love and my prostrations and my thanks to all of you. Jai Mohanji, Jai Mohanji. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, Swamiji. Love you, love.
Is Ashadri with you?
She is. Swamiji,
I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Nunus?
I'm okay, and you?
We miss you. We miss you.
I miss you guys too.
Don't tell Keegan, but you're my favorite.
I was just thinking, I was gonna ask him, the relationship between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati.
Yeah.
So I asked him, if it's the same with us, it's okay if I bully you. It's okay if I worry you.
You lost.
I'm the only one who can. It's okay.
There's no answer to that.
I'm keeping quiet, Swami.
Yeah, that's the dot. You got to be Lord Shiva and silent. This is why Lord Shiva is silent.
Stable inside yourself, right, Swami?
100%. This is why he represents the silence. Lord Shiva is silent. He doesn't do anything. He is the potential energy. He leaves the kinetic and moving to Mother Parvati. So that's how you ensure a good marriage, Keegan. You keep quiet and you just let Ashadri talk.
No, Swami, each of these episodes though have been so amazingly profound, and that entire week afterwards, it's constantly in your everyday, and you see it everywhere.
You think about it every day.
100%, 100%, 100%.